All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Fort Worth Music Academy Weekly Podcast. I'm very excited for our guest today. She is a fourth grade elementary teacher at Rosemont Elementary, or is it Rosemont?
Yes.
Yeah, Rosemont Elementary here in Fort Worth for Fort Worth ISD. Please welcome everybody, Elizabeth Andrade. How are you?
Hey, everyone. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. So I just thought in the midst of us going back to school, I thought it would be great to get to actually speak with a teacher. And since you and I see each other every week when Gregorio comes in for Kids Rock, I thought who better to talk to than you. So tell me, let's go back a little bit to March. What do you remember was the first thing you heard about all this?
So it was a big shock to me. Like, we went out for spring break and then, we realized, oh, we're not even coming back. So that was a big shock. And then, having to integrate all the technology and learning all those things like Google Meets, Google Classroom, that was all pretty difficult.
Yeah.
It was a learning process.
Yeah, I think for everybody, I think the parents were stressed, the teachers were stressed, but then I can't even imagine for you being a parent and a teacher. What was that like?
It's definitely difficult because it's hard to manage, So what I would do is I would teach my school children first in the morning, and then I would focus on my son at home in the afternoons. So
Yeah.
it's difficult to manage. And then, with the 7-year-old, sometimes he throws fits, and that makes it even harder.
Yeah, because it's a little different when it's like it's not the parent teaching the kid, right? As we all know, like I remember back when I was a school teacher and parents, I would tell parents, I'd be like, your kid is so good in my class. And they'd go, really? My kid? And then they would just say, as long as they're good for you.
Yeah.
And so I always think about that now with my kids. We always get these, well, okay, mostly at least two of our kids consistently good reports, and they'll be like, your kid is so quiet, and I'm just like, what child are you talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get that. Was it kind of a relief coming into summer, saying kind of like, oh, okay, that's done?
Yeah. It was, because I was working a lot of hours. Like it didn't just stop from 8 to 3. It was like parents were contacting me in the evenings, and I was going to reply to them because I wanted them to know what exactly to do. They were like, well, how does my student need to submit this work? And I'd upload videos, I'd have to record them. So that was definitely time consuming, but it was worth it.
I feel like all boundaries were kind of gone when that happened. Like for me, I have been consistently trying to remove myself from the administrative process of our business and making Anna be the point of contact and not me, just because it simplifies things. But when all of this happened, all bets were off. And it was like everyone had my cell phone number all of a sudden and my personal email. And it was just like, we were all everybody was surviving.
But we got the hang of it, so that was the good thing. Parents would contact me, but
did you feel like by the end of it, you kind of got into a groove?
Yeah. So I feel like, coming into the fall semester, it's going to go a little more smoothly because parents already know like how to use Google Classroom and, those little things I will be using this year.
Yeah. And does it seem like the district has, and your school in particular, like you guys have a pretty good handle, like a pretty good system? Like do teachers do you get the sense that the teachers feel kind of like, this is going to be okay?
Yeah. And then the district is offering a lot of courses online for us to take. Like we need to do flex hours. So those are trainings that help us prepare for this. So I've been doing a lot of trainings on how to integrate technology. So I feel so much comfortable now.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's really great. Now with you teaching fourth grade, how many years have you taught fourth grade?
So this is my 6th year teaching fourth grade. My first year I taught third grade. So I've been in upper grades. Yeah.
Yeah. So 7 years total you've been teaching?
Well, this will be my 7th year.
This will be your 7th year.
Yeah.
Cool. okay, here's one thing I noticed back in the spring was that like my oldest, she's going into fourth grade.
Hmm.
I think, right. Madison, are you going to fourth? Yeah, she's going into fourth grade. Uh, and there was no like just reading assignments. Everything was on the computer
Yeah.
that she was doing. And I was like, I kind of wish the teachers would just say like, you need to read a book for 30
Yeah.
minutes a day, which I understand as teachers, you can't really monitor that or anything, but is there any kind of plan for the kid or like, is with PE, is it like, okay, now go outside for 20 minutes or anything? How is that being integrated?
So that's how it was for my son. So in the spring, whenever we would work on his PE assignments, I would actually work with him on that. And so the PE teacher would upload videos, like YouTube videos, but they were like these cool Avengers workouts, and he loved it. And I worked out with him, and I was so tired by the end of that video. Yeah, I was like, whoa. Yeah, so what they did was they had him watch those videos. It was, a couple of videos, but he had to do them 3 times a week. So that was for PE, but it was definitely fun.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, I guess my kids had some like Go Noodle stuff or
Yeah, so he had some of those as well,
yeah.
like some yoga ones, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
fun.
My kids were doing the yoga, and by my kids, I mean my daughters were doing it, and my son was kind of just writhing around on the floor, you know.
Yeah.
So, let me ask. I want to ask kind of a bigger philosophical question about this that I've been thinking about when it comes to screens. It seems like we as parents are constantly fighting our kids just being in front of screens too much,
Hmm.
right? And yet this pandemic seems to just be accelerating and increasing the time that they have to do, because even the workouts, the stuff for PE, it's not
Yeah.
just go outside and play, it's stand in front of this screen and move. And I feel like we're just like, my whole goal in life is to reduce my screen time. And yet, of
Hmm.
course, the position I'm in right now with my business, I'm spending more time in front of a computer screen than ever, but that's not my end game. I don't know. So what do you think about us training our kids to constantly be in front of screens? Do you have concerns about it? Do you think it's a positive thing?
I think it has its ups and downs. I mean, the positive side is that being in front of the screen, doing everything online, that'll prepare them with 21st century skills, so they'll be more tech savvy. But, I agree with you that we are increasing the time that's spent in front of the screen. But I think that what I'm going to do is when I'm teaching, like, I'm not going to do a 1 hour sit there and just watch me. It'll be less than that, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, the rest of the assignments that are uploaded, they can do at their own pace. So, they'll take a break.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I think that's great. I think my Madison when she was in third grade, when all of this started, it was she had about 4 hours in front of the computer a day that she was doing, and that was okay.
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah, no, I think it is really important. I think you're right that they are learning this technology, because we did see, I think, a clear difference. I mean, I noticed like with our students, when we switched to all online, it was the kind of millennials and some of the Gen Xers that, it was not really a problem adapting, and the kids did good. But some of our older students were just like, even, something like Zoom to you and me, this was pretty simple, I think, for us to learn and pick
Yeah.
up. And it just was not that way. Like my dad had to do some meetings and stuff, and he was just like, this does not work for me.
Hmm.
And so it did kind of bring to light how important it is that we do keep up with the technology, so
Yeah.
we can stay active in the marketplace.
Hmm. I agree.
Okay, so when do you guys go back to school?
So teachers start August the 31st, and we'll be doing a professional development week in which we do a lot of trainings that prepare us for the year. And then students start September the 8th.
Wow. Okay. So school has been delayed, and it's going to be virtual for the
Yes, for the
first
first
several.
4 weeks.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because my kiddos' teachers are already back this
Hmm.
week, but you guys are not back at the school this week?
No. Well,
Oh,
we've been given the option to go, but not to start teaching. So it's to
yeah.
go and gather any resources that you might need to teach from home.
Okay.
We've also been given the option to, like, if you want to teach at the campus, you'd be by yourself, but you could also do that.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
will be working from home?
Yes, I will.
That's great. I
Just
think
because
that,
it's easier for me so that I can manage my son's school too, like his
yeah.
schoolwork. So
Yeah, I can't see the district. So I think that was a really smart move. I can't see them saying, you must come in. Good luck figuring out what you're going to do with your own children.
yeah. And I only have one. I can't imagine like having a lot of kids.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So
must
I
be
know
difficult.
for my wife, it was really stressful in the spring
Mhm.
because it's not hard. I mean, as you know, it's not hard to teach three kids at one time, but to
No.
teach three kids in three different levels, working on
Oh,
totally different things, and one of them can't read barely, and then the other one is behind in their reading, and so we really only have one independent learner who is able to just sit in front of the computer and do all of that stuff,
yeah.
whereas the other two need constant attention. So yeah, kudos to my wife for it. It really became a full-time job for her.
Mhm. Yes,
So
I admire her. Kudos to her.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, to all the parents, but you know what? To me, what I think is equally as difficult is, we're very we're fortunate that my wife was home all the time, so it wasn't us both trying to manage careers and the kids. So I can't imagine even just having one kid trying to work a full time job and do that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's been tough for everybody.
Mhm.
But I tell you what, I was really glad when we were at least able to start offering the in-person lessons again.
Yeah.
And getting to see Gregorio in person again, because it just, especially for the younger kids, it just is not the same.
Mhm. Yeah, he loves in person better than online.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure you remember he would be, in front of the screen and all of a sudden he's like getting some Oreos. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, everybody was kind of like that. So okay, we'll kind of, I want to ask kind of one final question, which is, where do you see this going? What do you think is, because as of now it's online only until what, September 28th?
September. I think the beginning of October they're going to decide whether we continue this. It all depends on how everything is going,
Yeah, but
around.
what do you personally think is going to happen?
I think we're going to slowly ease into the in-person learning, but I find it a little hard because I've been thinking, okay, my classroom isn't that big. So I'm just thinking, how am I going to set up my classroom? They've invested in plexiglass and sanitizers and everything. So, we can use that, but it's definitely going to be challenging.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to slowly ease into it. I honestly do think we'll probably start back in October. We'll see, because I know
Yeah.
some schools have already started in person, so maybe we'll
I think
we'll see
that's going to
how
be
they.
very, very telling,
Yeah.
and that may even guide Fort Worth ISD in terms of being able to make a decision without even going back. Here's what I predict will happen, and this is just a total guess. I think we're going to start going back, and then like 10 kids at each school are going to get it, and then we're going to shut down for the rest of the fall. But
Yeah.
like we'll be open for like 3-4 weeks in October, and then November they're going to say, all right, early holiday. we'll we'll try again in January.
Yeah.
So I hate to be like a Debbie Downer about that, but that's what I
It's
think.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here's the other problem is I think a lot of people are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel once we get this vaccine. But
Hmm.
think about all of these anti-maskers out there, people who are just in total defiance of that. Those people aren't going to be getting the vaccine. And
Yeah.
so we're only half the population is going to get it. And then, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen. All I know is that I get to take my family to the movies next week for the first time in 6 months,
Nice.
and I'm very excited.
Yeah, Gregorio's like, Mom, can we please go to the zoo? So I think I might make an appointment and
Is
So
that what it is? There that
I think you have to reserve a spot. Yeah.
okay.
So we'll see.
Okay, cool. When are you guys going to do that? Hopefully not in the next couple of days in this 105-degree heat.
Oh no. We'll wait. We'll wait a couple of maybe a couple of weeks.
I bet it's a really nice time to go to the zoo. I bet it's
Yeah.
very uncrowded. I'm super excited about the movies because they're only doing 30% capacity. So we're going to have
Okay.
lots of space and, you know, I
That'll
won't
be
have to
nice.
listen to too many people opening their candy wrappers. So what have you guys done to, what have you done to keep the kiddos kind of entertained and keep yourself from going crazy? Have you guys been going out, attempting anything like that?
So we have a pool in the backyard, so we just go to the backyard, we swim. We have some hens, so we care for our little hens.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
we just got a peacock, so
No way.
yeah, it's a baby one, but we're caring for the peacock and the hens, waiting for them to lay eggs. So that keeps us entertained.
That is so cool. Is that because you were like, okay, the apocalypse is definitely coming. We need to just start
We need
getting
a
our own
food
food,
source.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, but no eggs yet, so we'll see.
That is great. I tell my kids, like, if they're like, Dad, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I was like, probably eggs. I
Uh-huh.
feel like I could sustain myself longer on just that than anything else. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's a good protein source too.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, with that, this has been great. Thanks, Elizabeth, for being here. I think this is going to be really fun for people to listen to, and I think we've kind of just brought out in the open a lot of things that a lot of people are thinking.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, totally. Well, you guys have a great weekend, and of course, we'll see you for Kids Rock next week.
Awesome. Likewise. Bye.